High vibration, sweet baby. So let me just once again apologize in advance for not having amazing audio quality in this reading. The thing is, and I've said this before, I just usually end up pulling cards unexpectedly, and when I share some of these readings, I don't really have like a setup plan for it. So maybe that's something I can be a little bit more intentional around, really carving out like a space with a setup to do these readings. But at the moment, I'm really happy that I sat down and pulled all these cards because there's a really juicy, powerful reading here that I really want to share. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful, but it's definitely, and I'm here with my buddy boy. He's happy. He's a happy boy today. Are you happy? Are you happy, Troy? Yeah, that's his tail wagging if you hear that sound. There's also going to be other sounds as per usual because, yes, we're living. Yes, we're living. I have some laundry going. There's sounds of nature, neighbors, what have you. So now that we're here and dropped into space, it really feels like you're accelerating or advancing or moving in a direction that feels really, really good for you. And even though there's a lot of moving parts, is one of the symbols that came out, it feels really good and really purposeful for you on this path. And I feel like now more than ever, you're connected to yourself on your path and really just not influenced by stuff, other people's stuff, projections, your own maybe internalized stuff, stress at work, all the things that could possibly influence our ways of thinking, operating, and the choices we're making. It just feels like us as a collective, we found a way to really anchor in to our own path and our own journey. Butterfly medicine is showing up here, friends. There's definitely a change and a metamorphosis that is undergoing, and it's really subtle. It's really, whenever I see, butterfly representing change, it's such a beautiful change. It's not a change that you have to fear or what's about to happen, sit on the edge of my seat kind of like anxiously. No, it's this really soft and this really subtle and really beautiful change for the better. But it's also bringing up the symbolism from the butterfly effect, which I think is really interesting because this actually was coming up for me symbolically recently during a situation going on in my life, and I was like, interesting. So something to take into consideration. There's also a symbol here that says you can't change who people are without changing what they were. So that is a funny saying, and it's from the movie The Butterfly Effect, and I heard it a while back when I was going through a lot of changes and really having to come from that place of trust. 333 on the timestamp, and it also came out here in one of the symbols, so lots of higher intuitive guidance and direction in this reading. To me at the time when I heard that, it meant something very different to what it means to me now. Now it's kind of this feeling of acceptance of who you are, where you're at. You can't change your past. You can't change yourself, and hopefully you don't want to. And everything that happened in this point brought you to who you are here and now in this moment. And you can't go back and you can't change anything without changing who you are here in the present tense in this moment. And that's like a really beautiful perspective that we can decide to come from, and be able to recognize like, oh, okay, I really accept and love myself here in this moment, so I can't change anything without that then changing who I am. So there's a lot of cards. I'm going to keep moving through this reading. There's a lot of Mercury air energy showing up here of communication. I don't think this has to do with any air signs, I'm going to be honest. If that's in your big three, that's fine, but I don't see this having to do with any like specific air signs. I do see just air influencing these energies right now. If a lot of communication, maybe some communication breakdowns at one point, but I think what's really beautiful during this Mercury retrograde as I'm recording this is that what I've always said about Mercury retrograde is that it really shows us where we can grow and change in the way that we communicate, the way that we connect with others. Sorry, headphone users for that little tap. But I also see that this has to do with compromise, feeling like communication is flowing from both directions, being received and heard, and so on and so forth. And there's just something to do with like hearing from someone. You might hear from somebody, there's like this energy of like somebody sending out a text message or sending out a message or something coming up, and you'll hear from them. A letter might also be significant. Interesting. Yeah, so there's also some symbology here for pets. I mean, Buddy Boy was the biggest one. But there's something to do with like pets being relevant, and this will be very personal and individualistic. I'm not going to go into it because I think this is just a very specific symbol, and there's going to be a lot of very specific symbols in this reading because I am, like I said, seeing, there's that laundry, a lot of higher guidance, divine guidance, intuitive guidance, whether it's coming from your own highest self because you're carving out more time to connect with this version of yourself that's very dropped in, tuned in, connected, present. And something to do with a party might be important. There could be some kind of conversation where you're just kind of left feeling like it might be a conversation about text messages, might be a conversation just in general, but it just feels like return to sender, something here, or maybe a text message like doesn't go through. That was another symbol that was coming up of like something to do with a text message that doesn't go through. This will be very clear and specific if and when it happens to you. But you're also going to be noticing, like I was trying to get to this point here with Mercury retrograde, is like when these mishaps or misunderstandings or whatever happen, it's also helping you to see when they don't. When you're able to have communication and it's just really open and free-flowing and easy and effortless, and you don't feel like you have to maybe protect yourself, your energy, or have your guard up. There might be something to do with the throat space because this is very much a communication, expression type of energy that's showing up here. And this could be also with like divine communication. So if you're taking time to pray, if you're taking time to tap into your own inner guidance system, like this could also be the type of communication that's been really important for you. But I do feel as though there is some sort of interesting energy involving the throat space where like how powerful your voice can be, your expression can be. You might be a very expressive person, and you're noticing that there might be somebody who's just sort of, I don't know, you just don't need to communicate with them, or the way that you use your voice is just a little different with them. And like all of this is very important information for you because you really, the more that you're connected to your joy and easy conversations or just joyful conversations, you're seeing things manifest like that. Like it is within moments, it is overnight, it is like that. And it's almost a little bit weird and freaky for you. I'm gonna just be honest, like that's what I'm feeling into, but like it's happening like that for you right now. Again, this is when it's really you taking time for yourself, loving on yourself, a lot of self-love energy showing up recently. You're gonna hear my gut because there's something in this reading that I do need to speak on, but it's exactly this of like you are really connecting to your inner world, your inner self, your inner truth. And again, because of this, it's easier for you to see when people are maybe not exactly connected to their full truth, but there is this feeling of, I don't know, this sort of, you're able to see where people might be out of balance when they're coming from this very like materialistic, very maybe 3D, 2D kind of mindset. And then when people are maybe like super connected to the ethereal type of ways of looking at things. And it's not to say one is better than the other, because at the end of the day, they're both out of balance. And the more that you find your center and you find your balance and you have that connection to both, where you feel really centered and grounded in both, it makes it easy just to see when that imbalance is showing up in your external. Okay, so had to switch over that laundry there. We took a quick pause. As you can hear, probably there's a airplane going by over us, and that's funny because right here under text messages and all that we were just talking about is honeymoon with an airplane. So let's talk about this. I really see you, like I said, you're really centered, you're really connecting to your own intuition, your path. And I feel like I just shared a reading, it was pre-recorded. I think I have like a couple more pre-recorded readings, and we should be all caught up during the Mercury retrograde, where you're really connecting to your intuition and you don't question it as much. I'm sure you still do a little bit, because sometimes, it's hard to fall out of that programming that how could we possibly know these things? But sometimes it's just a matter of trust. I saw a video recently, 1212 is significant, that you can only believe in something you don't know. Oh, I love that. Let me say it again. You can only believe in something that you don't know. So to know something, you can't necessarily believe in it, right? So when it comes to the things that, when our faith is questioned, 37 might also be significant for this collective. Recently, it's been coming up everywhere. I cannot look somewhere without seeing the number 37 at this point. It's been crazy. But there's this sense of just really being in tune with what's showing up and what symbols, what you're feeling internally. And I just got a little sidetracked. I lost my train of thought here because I just really, I feel this sense of distrust in yourself and your full intuition, but really and truly you're seeing now more and more time and time again how this is really something that exists for you, and how it is something that you can just, you can just believe in. You don't know, but that is a question of a test of how much you can believe in something, how much you can have faith in something without the tangible, without the statistics, without the logic, without the reason, without the measurements, with none of that. That's when you're asked to believe. So choose carefully the things you believe in, because you have to, in a sense, at the same time say, I don't know, which brings up this energy of love is a gamble. I feel like there's just something here that's like, it's a gamble. No matter what it is, it's a roll of the dice. And you have in your life experienced this many times where sometimes, the luck is in your favor or the odds are stacked against you. But at the end of the day, you have to take a gamble. You have to take a shot at things. And I see you sort of here in this space being like, I need this internal guidance system. I need this divine guidance. You might be praying actually for guidance around something specific. And maybe actually something to do with health might be significant. Maybe something that helps you find a little bit more information around your current situation. Because I'm really seeing that you are looking for some kind of guidance. And what's really beautiful is that I see it readily available to you. It's there. It's there. It's there. You might be seeing more angel numbers, specifically 333, 111, 222, 1212, 27, 37, 67. Okay, and we're going to break down some of those in a little bit. But you're getting symbols, you're getting your guidance, and it's really now it's up to you to be open to it. It's really up to you to how you want to embrace this and call it in. Something to do with, let me see. Yeah, interesting. Bug medicine is going to be very important for you and kind of one of these symbols for you. There's this energy of like a fly that's kind of like a nuisance. It might show up to give you clarity. It might show up to let you know when someone's energy is stank, okay? You might also have ladybugs show up to say yes to something. Luck is on your side in this. Yes, it's worth the risk. It's worth the gamble. Butterflies might be showing up when it's time to soften and to change and to allow the changes to occur. Bee medicine might be significant when it's time to think about how well you're working in harmoniously with others. Are you working for a greater intention? How well are you? Y'all, a bee just flew up to the window as I'm speaking to this. How well are you contributing to a community? I love this quote that I heard recently, and it said, to have a village, you must be a villager. You must be able to come to the village and bring your love, bring your openness, bring your care, bring that quality of like, I don't know the exact phrasing, but it's like love your neighbor. You know what I mean? Like take care of one another. And we live in a world that is so deconditioned from that. And you are not accepting anything less in this current place in your life where you are ready for your village. You know you need your people around you. And I see that the universe, the divine, is conspiring for that, putting a lot of really divinely led, highly led connections in your path. But again, this is really about you staying connected to yourself, to your path, and realizing that the more you do that, the more you can align with others who are doing the very same, and that's the people that you're looking for in your village. That's a sound I've never heard before. There's an energy here, first of all, of some really, really powerful, very strong love potentiality, okay? I'm seeing it's real, okay? We have the heart card with love. We have 222, honey. We have another heart card that says open your heart. It will help you attract more of this love. Okay. We have love is a gamble. We have fuzzy dice. We have divine guidance. We have destiny. We have yin yang. We have honeymoon. We have infinite potential. There is so many indicators here that you have really powerful, beautiful love available to you, around you. People want to love on you. It could be a community. It could be suitors. It's a word that was showing up in a conversation I had with someone recently. And I thought it was really funny. And it's just this very loving, ooey gooey energy. However, you recognize that this is a time in your life where all of that doesn't really feel like central. Your life is not centered around being in love. Your life isn't like, you are not here for a love card reading. It just so happens that this energy is showing up on your path, and that's exactly how this feels. Is like, it just so happens. It's not, it's like an effect, right? Like the cause of you being in your path and you being open to change and you being open to, you know, your divinely led journey. It just so happened that all this beautiful love came flooding into your life in the process. But you have already committed to one of the most beautiful and powerful loves of all time, and that is your self-love. That is committing to taking care of your mind, body, and soul in a way that only you ever could, so that you could really be the person who's fully and readily available for some ooey gooey divine love. Now, yes, open up your heart is here, right? So we're not closing out love from our lives by accepting more self-love from ourselves. No. This is how you are able to call in something that I think you've been manifesting since probably, I want to say 12, and that was a Mercury retrograde at that time. And I believe us collective, we were really coming into this place of what we want in a lot of different areas. And there were some like interesting things that were probably going on for us at that time that made it like clear, like, oh wait, I want this. This is nice. I want that. I like that. You know, this looks good over here. I'll take some of that, you know? And in that place, you were planting seeds and manifesting the love that is showing up for you currently. But in this time since then, right, you have cultivated so much love and acceptance and comfort in who you are as your own person and your own self. So what I'm seeing here is that you're really going to have to follow your inner guidance, follow the signs on this one, and when all else fails, remember that you're committed to yourself. You're committed to a good, healthy love for yourself, which means that there's things you might need to heal from. There might be things that you have to let go. There might be things that you were avoiding for a while, but now you want to face them. And that might be something that you need to do in a solo individual journey. Now, that doesn't mean, again, that you close out people and keep yourself away from love and support. I think that's the exact opposite of what you would need when you're facing things that you've been putting off. This could be things like father wounds. This could be something related to your Mars sign, Mars energy within your birth chart. This could be something that was frozen but is now beginning to thaw out, if you will. And this could be something regarding a third-party energy, monkey in the middle, some things in the middle of you feeling like you are completely, fully able to be in full balance, full softness, maybe full focus of caring for yourself first and foremost. And when it comes to others, right now, of course, granted, we're not in a perfect world. Like, there's always going to be times when someone that we love is just going through it, and they're going through a hard time. They need a lot of help. They're calling a lot, you know, and that's taxing, but it's, again, being part of the village, knowing that, like, well, I had a full night's rest, I got in my meditation, like, I'm feeling pretty good. I can hold space for this person I care about. I can, pull the car over and give 10 minutes of time to this phone call because I can tell they really need it. Self-love is not deciding to be selfish and being like, no, they are just bringing some bad vibes. Oh my God, bad vibes. I can't handle it. Like, you need to, no, just no. There's a difference between having boundaries and loving yourself with boundaries of how much time, or maybe what time you accept certain phone calls, if someone's going through a rough time, or maybe not even that. Like, sometimes we have to be that in case of emergency contact for people. And there might be, I just saw a butterfly, there might be a time when, you realize that, like, I might not sleep well this week because such and such is going through something really tragic, and I want to be available to them. That's different. However, when you're feeling like, ooh, this doesn't feel right. This feels unhealthy. This feels like somebody who is maybe, instead of, life happening and they're struggling with just what's going on in their experience, they might be somebody who almost derives some sense of peace and comfort with being in chaos and pulling others into their chaos. Like, you'll know the difference. It might be somebody who almost gets energy or feeds off of difficult conversations or the tense or chat, like whatever. You'll know, you'll feel it, and that's when it's time for you to be like, okay, I committed to my self-love. I committed to my peace of mind, taking care of myself, being with myself. I care about this person and I deserve to have community, but at the same time, this no longer feels loving and safe for me in connection with this person, at least in this way, right? Again, 27 is going to be significant. 37 just showed up again. So you're going to really be feeling when you're in flow and in harmony with who you're connecting with. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of really divinely led connections going on. And sometimes that shows up through strugglesome connections, right? Because it pivots us or redirects us or makes things clear for us of the types of people who are truly safe, who are truly loving, who are truly kind, and can reciprocate the kind of energy and connection that you offer to them. More than anything, this is about giving it time. Everything in divine timing. Let things flow. Patience, just a few more months. Good things come to those who wait. I will say that I was seeing a really strong energy around the fall season being a very powerful time for you, when you feel like all the things that I was planting seeds around, the things that I was hoping for, the feelings that I was striving to feel, the contentment I was after, I see it arriving, and I see you being in that and in a really beautiful place. I see the fall season being a very, like your harvest. That's like when you're enjoying the fruits of your labor, your harvest was plentiful, and it was just a really abundant time for you. And in that time, you were able to manifest, right here is the next card, a lot of beautiful things. You told the universe exactly what you wanted. You followed in your divine guidance, and you can see that all of it was really this destined path for you to be exactly who you are in this moment. You wanted to be this person. You stepped up to be this person. You faced things to be this person. You did a lot of healing to be this person. And it also required a lot of hope. There's a lot of things that we're going to have to shift and change. But I see this beautiful belief, right? We don't know what's going to happen. But you had this belief that the change is going to be in your favor in a beautiful metamorphosis that is symbolized here by the butterfly. So the last few symbols I want to just share with you are Earth, okay, Virgo, and water. Okay, Sagittarius did also show up. Again, this could be referencing Sagittarius season. Like I said, we had Mercury retrograde at 12/12/24, and I think that there was a lot of things in that time that you knew you were going to have to come back to. You were planting seeds for things, so now is kind of like a reflective time to be like, okay, what was fruitful? What have I been watering? What seeds have I been watering? What is blooming? What has been taking shape? Was that for my best interest? Have I been manifesting something that was beautiful, but really all I needed was to just kind of fall in love with myself and my own path and my own energy and my own gifts, right? So, yeah, think of this as like your check-in. How am I feeling now about the things that I was thinking about, the things that I was calling in, just all of it, you know? And I think, yes, definitely going to impact our earth signs. This could definitely be involving a Virgo if you're not a Virgo yourself. And water signs, oh my goodness, I just blinked out on the water signs. We have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is such a great reading, and it's been very nice to just sit down and pull these cards with you. And hopefully there was some insight here for you. This is feeling groovy and resonant to you. If any of these symbols were showing up for you, I would love to hear about it. And again, I apologize if my audio is not the best with this. It is something I'm going to intend on really prioritizing in the future. So thank you for listening along anyway, and thank you for all of those of you who have subscribed to my channel to keep up with more readings, because I really do enjoy just sitting down and offering this soul food for thought for the collective and those who feel called to it. So I'm sending all my love in, and I will talk to you soon. 37 again, friends. Holy moly.